everyone, my name's Caitlin. I'm a first-year student at Duke University, and today I'm going to be sharing the stats and extracurriculars I apply with. So let's get started. In terms of demographics, I'm Hispanic from Miami, Florida, and I went to a large magnet high school with over 3,500 students. Among the 7 academies that we were separated into, I was in the Medical Health Sciences Academy because I've always wanted to become a doctor. And then my parents both went to college and were generally considered middle class. I applied to 17 different universities with a biology or a biochemistry major on the pre-med track. Moving on to my stats, I was in the top 10% of my class with an unweighted GPA of a 4.0 and a weighted GPA of a 5.18. Throughout my high school career, I ended up taking 9 honors classes and 14 AP classes. My school ran on a 6-class schedule, so it was kind of difficult choosing electives that I could take, as I also had a medical class I had to take for my academy. So beginning in middle school, I took 4 honors high school level classes, including physical science, biology, algebra, and geometry. So during my freshman year, I took AP World History, Honors Algebra 2, Honors Chemistry, Honors English 1, French 1, and Health Sciences Foundations, which was my medical academy class. So the summer after my freshman year, I took an online class to get rid of my PE requirements. And then I also took an online French 2 class so I could be done with my foreign language requirement. And then I also took a dual enrollment Introduction to Psychology class online because it was right after COVID, so they're still offering a lot of classes online. During my sophomore year, I took AP Chemistry, AP European History, Honors Pre-Calculus, Honors English 2, Dance 1, and Anatomy and Physiology. During my junior year, I took AP US History, AP Biology, AP Calculus AB, AP English Language, AP Environmental Science, and a class that allowed me to become certified as a medical administrative assistant. And then during my senior year, I took AP US Government, AP Physics 1, AP Calculus BC, AP English Literature, AP Human Geography, AP Macroeconomics, and then a class that gave me a certification to be at EJG Tech. So my senior year, I was technically able to take 7 classes instead of normal 6 because my US government and my macroeconomics class were split in the middle of the year. So one was one semester and the other was another semester, and they were just taught by the same teacher. In terms of the scores for my AP exams, I got a 5 in AP World History, AP European History, AP Chemistry, AP Calculus AB, AP English Language, AP Environmental Science, AP Calculus BC, AP English Literature, AP Human Geography, and AP Macroeconomics. I got a 4 in AP US History, AP Biology, and AP US Government, and got my only 3 in AP Physics 1. And then on the SAT, I had a super score of a 1540 with a 790 in reading and a 750 in math. Okay, that was a lot of numbers and statistics, so let's just move on to the extracurriculars and awards section. So the number 1 activity I reported was a nonprofit I founded called Smiles for Smiles. I partnered with a local homeless shelter during the fall of my junior year to provide a free weekly cheerleading extracurricular for the children living there, and conducted several donation drives to collect over 250 hygiene items for the shelter's residents. So the second activity I reported was a paid summer research internship I participated in. Basically, I worked in a biochemistry lab during the summer after my junior year and focused on making computer models about the role of a certain DNA polymerase in cancer and viral disease development. And the third activity I reported was my role as president for the school newspaper club. I was part of this club since the beginning of high school, starting as a writer, then an editor, and then became co-editor-in-chief for my junior and senior years in high school. The fourth activity was being the student government treasurer for all 4 years. My fifth activity was being the vice president for the Young Innovators Club at my high school, which is basically a club focused on science fair type projects and helping develop them. The sixth activity I reported was being a peer health educator in the Health Information Project, which is basically teaching underclassmen about general health topics that are relevant to them. The seventh activity was being a varsity cheerleader for 3 years. My eighth activity was my role as a class director who managed community service hour distribution for Key Club, which is a service organization. My ninth activity was my membership in HUSA for all 4 years. That gave me a couple of awards. And finally, my last activity, which is number 10, was my role as an ambassador for a nonprofit called Letters for Rose, where we created letters and artwork during the pandemic for nursing home residents facing loneliness. So for my extracurriculars and academics, I received several awards, and the number one award I included was being the Volunteer of the Year for the homeless shelter I worked with. I was also a Silver Knight nominee, which is an award based in Miami that is given to students who have a particularly impactful community service project. I ended up receiving first place awards for HUSA in the health education competition during my junior and senior years. And then the last two awards I recorded were national awards, which were the National Hispanic Scholar Award and the National Merit Commended Scholar Award. And now I'm going to share with you guys what universities I applied to and what the decisions were. So I ended up applying to 4 in-state schools, which were Florida International University, the University of Miami, Florida State University, and the University of Florida. And then the 13 universities I applied to out of state were Northwestern, UCLA, UC Berkeley, NYU, Vanderbilt, Johns Hopkins, Stanford, Duke, Cornell, Brown, Yale, Columbia, and Harvard. So let's start from the rejections and go all the way to the acceptances. I was rejected from Northwestern, UCLA, Stanford, Cornell, Brown, Yale, Columbia, and Harvard. I was waitlisted at Vanderbilt, Johns Hopkins, and NYU, and then I was accepted into Florida International University, the University of Miami, Florida State University, the University of Florida, UC Berkeley, and Duke. And as you guys already know, I chose Duke. So thank you guys so much for watching, and let us know if you have any questions at all. As a final send-off, if you have the chance, become a Blue Devil. Thank you.